tough to come and play against a pretty aggressive team, and obviously a couple of guys with a point to prove. And yeah, I think we had balance at certain moments in the game, and then we lost balance, and we could have won it at the end, and they get the penalty, and so it was this back and forth game. At the end of it, I would say we have to take the draw, and really proud of guys digging deep. We've learned a lot from this game, which will help us further down the line. So we take the point after a tough stretch, 2 wins at home, a point on the road. So yeah, really proud of the boys for that effort that they put out at the end. Thank you.
Thanks, Bradley. We can start with questions in the room.
There just seemed to be a lot of starting and stopping in that match, and it just seemed like it was hard for your side to get into a flow in the match. Did you feel that way as well?
Yeah, terrible. I'm not sure, like, when teams play a certain way and, it's on the border and we use our body in certain ways, like, yeah, it cannot be a foul every single time. It really can't. And even the penalty call that gets called back on Nate. Nate jumps 2 seconds earlier, and it's a foul. We create the foul, but Nate jumps unopposed, and all of a sudden some player runs into Nate, and that's a foul. I mean, wow. I don't have the answers for that.
With Andre's run in Jamaica and coming back and playing all those games, was it just more of a rest for him and to get Andrew Rick some work today?
Yeah, I mean, we've rotated throughout the season. We've have now 17 different goal scorers. We have had contributions from all over. Andre, Ernst, myself, goalkeeper Phil Whidden, goalkeeper coach Phil Whidden. We've discussed a pathway for Rick, and we've discussed with Andre what's best for management of his knee and his body. And it's great to see Andre here as the captain, also supporting the boys from the sidelines. And it just shows that this team is galvanized, that we're together and we're supportive of each other. And you see at the end of the game, rallying on and, getting the guys all excited and on the sidelines for a big play and what have you. So it's fun being part of this group, and everyone feels a special connection here right now.
That call there at the end on VAR, from your vantage point, did that look like, obviously there was a foul prior to that?
I mean, I've seen replays now, and I'm not sure. Like I've just said, Nate jumps aerially. Yeah, I've just said, like, the way Nate. Yeah, so I've answered the question. If I say any more, I might get, I might get into trouble.
Your thought there, though, for the penalty kick. I mean, Jack kisses the badge. That's just pure emotion for you? I mean, for him, and Jude, does that?
Doesn't interest me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nico, we can go to Zoom.
All right, Jonathan Tanwald.
Thanks, Nico. Bradley, just as a matter of clarification, because when they made the announcement on negating the penalty, it didn't come through very well on the broadcast as to what the guy actually said.
There was there was a penalty call. However, there was, a prior foul. And I can only assume it was the Nate Harriel challenge.
Okay.
And for the life of me, I'm not sure. When somebody jumps first, makes a play on the ball unopposed, and somebody runs into him from the opposing team, we have leverage. We have, we're jumping first. Again, all I saw was a real fair play at the ball. And our player gets run into, and the other player goes down holding his face. So no shooting, no answers.
Yeah. The other thing I was going to ask was a lot of lineup rotation overall from Wednesday for what I'm sure were a lot of reasons. What were some of those reasons, and were you satisfied that you got away with it on the most part?
Yeah, I mean, satisfied, yes. But in terms of rotation, Mikaua, DP striker, Chuchu Bueno, a Venezuelan national player. What else do we have? Raffanello, maybe you would say he's the only one who's limited game time so far. But, other than that, these are, seasoned pros. And, if you had that on a lineup on any other day, you would have said, okay, it's a decent lineup for us. So.
The only other thing I'd ask is if there's anything you say to Frankie on the flight home about the red card.
No, we've discussed that internally, and we'll handle that internally.
All right, Matt to George.
Hey, Bradley, when you approach the plan for for the rotation in a 3-game set like this, does taking care of business on the first 2 parts of it and getting the maximum points, does that make it any easier to make some of these changes? Does that play into being able to flex the depth a little bit on a tough road trip in the conditions? How does that play into your mindset, if at all?
I have no idea that that's flexing depth. I mean, like I just mentioned earlier, we've built confidence throughout the group. We've built competition throughout the group, and we believe in the whole group. And I think we've shown that on display with, like I said earlier, how many times have we rotated against St. Louis, against multiple teams so far? We've played different lineups, and we've kept teams guessing. And yeah, everyone's come through so far. And if I don't make this change or don't make these changes, then guys are going to lose hope in training. Then they don't give the maximum effort. But everyone knows if they train hard, then they'll get to play as well, and I think that's kind of the bargain or the sort of deal that we have with each other, that if somebody needs a change, if somebody needs a rest, if we have 46 points in the bank, and we go away to Houston, which is a tough trip, and we have some all-stars going away next week as well. So yeah, I don't see why not. We should give confidence to the group.
All right, and final question to go to David Melanger.
Hey, Bradley, as you always mention, it's always hard to win games on the road. How crucial was it to get a point on the road tonight? And what can you take away from this 3-game stretch you guys just got done?
Yeah, we dig deep, and I thought, to the question earlier, we've been dominant at home in some big matchups and some important matchups, and we've shown a bit of fight after 2 lost games. So when we bounce back with 7 points, and now we have a week to rest, guys can go and enjoy their trips at the All-Stars and represent the club in the highest fashion. And yeah, we take a point here away from home, and we've got another Western Conference team next week in Colorado. So overall, the stretch of 3 games, 7 points, you can't ask for more.